3 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock?
That's it. I'm going home.
Dang, man.
See ya.
I wouldn't even be on the air on any of our stations before 8 o'clock. I don't know where that came from. Reading, it's hard.
Well, I think when you have a I'll say in all candor, when you're in a foreign country and a monkey in a diaper sitting on your head, you're asking for trouble.
Discussion can end there. That's right. Boom. It's a definitive statement on the issue. Now we move on.
So how many times have you thought about that was a bad idea that I had a monkey on my head since you had the monkey on your head?
Every time I go visit Dr. Pellegrino, my personal doctor. Do you know what it's like to tell your doctor that?
Well, Doc, I also had a monkey. Excuse me? Had a monkey on my head with a diaper on. Imagine that's the first time Dr. Ron has ever heard that one. He's probably heard a lot of things.
He's heard a lot. Yeah, Dr. Ron has.
He's one of the great West Virginians. He's up there from the Northern Panhandle.
He's awesome.
Tremendous.
Yeah, Dr. Ron. Good dude.
We were talking in my office a little earlier, and a phrase that Ryan used that I was really kind of gobsmacked over. He started a sentence with me. He said, "We were watching football on Thursday."
I know, he did the same thing to me. He did this. Is this like Earth 2?
I said, what?
He came back and started telling me about the Cowboys and the Chiefs game.
know,
and you
I
were
know.
watching the Lions game on Thanksgiving Day.
Well,
What happened? What happened to our little Ryan?
Well, when my Uncle Bill and my Uncle Chris asked if I want to watch football with them, I don't say no.
Okay.
So,
Because I'm not a recluse anymore.
so if you have uncles that are big sports fans, do you get some creds? Are you like, hey, I'm actually you want to kind of sports show? It's syndicated.
Well, I don't.
Statewide.
Well, I don't want this to be a sports show.
Second game this season that Honors had 8 threes. Second time he's had 8 threes, and his coach has pulled him out with over 4 minutes to go.
You're up 40.
Yeah, but coach just does not want to see him get that record.
There may have been a discussion about that on exactly where he was in the number.
Did you let him know this time?
But there was a discussion about where he was with the number. But at the end of the day, Ross decided the juice not worth the squeeze there. With 3.5 minutes left is when he pulled him out after the timeout there. And listen, that's a guy with a lot of minutes on his in his body. You need to rest him. But 2 out of 11, you got to think maybe he's going to approach that again. Here's what's wild. In those 2 games where he's just been one off of Alex Ruoff's record, he's now a combined 16 of 20 from 3 in those 2 games. So he didn't just make 8 threes, guys. He was 8 of 11 last night. He was 8 of 9 when he did it before. 16 of 20 combined in those 2 games.
Across this great state of West Virginia, welcome in high school game nights. I chuckle a little bit, folks, because it said early edition.
As compared to the
Only
rest
edition.
of the edition, yeah.
Yeah. Tonight is going to be interesting, to say the least.
10 seconds remaining.
Going to be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
You had a moment of clarity about when it all started to make sense for you?
It did, because I didn't want to be a filmmaker growing up. I didn't even know what filmmaking was growing up. I used to watch Oprah and Katie Couric, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be you. And I worked at West Virginia University's radio station. I had a very thick accent. People would call in and make fun of me. And so I asked my roommates, my college roommates who are from Baltimore, to teach me how to talk differently.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a loss, I feel, from that. And it's probably one of the reasons why I love documenting people that are authentic. Like, I don't know if I'm authentic, but I think the people I find are very authentically who they are, and that's what draws me to them.
5, 3.
Red 57! Red 57! Hot, hot!
I don't believe what I just saw.
Bill McKenzie kicks a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
Sportsline for Monday, a new week as we started here in the Health Plan Studios. It is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. Kyle Wiggs, Greg Hunter, Brad Howe with you on this Monday. Text line open 304-TALK-304. Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
Bit of mixed results from over the weekend. Mountaineer men get beat by Baylor. Mountaineer women defeat Baylor. And coming up a little bit later on the show, we're scheduled to be joined by WVU Hall of Famer and ESPN Plus analyst Meg Bulger. She'll help us break down the win over Baylor for the women. She didn't call that game. That was a national ESPN game. But she does the majority of the women's home games on ESPN Plus. So we'll get her thoughts on the win, what it means, and going forward. The men, meanwhile, not a good afternoon at the Coliseum. They lose to Baylor 63-53 on Saturday, and Brad, the diagnosis from the loss.
Well, you see why we were concerned about that game heading into the weekend. That was exactly it, and it's one of those games, guys, we'll look back on this, and this will be a type of game. I mean, you talk about a team that was trying to give it to you in Baylor there in that second half, and ultimately, guys, and we'll dive into it here right now, but the overarching theme was you just couldn't get a couple of baskets when you needed them. You know, well, I'll go through the laundry list of things here, but you did almost everything that you needed to. Your defense was outstanding in the second half, got you back in the game, and you just couldn't close offensively. And I'll give you the one stat that jumps so much. West Virginia scored with about 11 and a half minutes to go in the second half to get to 47 points. Jasper made a layup basically at the buzzer with 1 second remaining to finish with 53 points. So for 11 minutes and 28 seconds of the second half, you scored 4 points. That's the ball game right there, right? There were other things. The slow start, you can find. Honor was cold from three. That was really attributable to Baylor defense. I thought their defense was as good as we've seen perimeter-wise in trying to lock up Honor and Trey. But at the end of the day, 11 minutes, 28 seconds, and you got 4 points in a game when your defense was holding them and creating turnovers and getting defensive rebounds and getting that ball back, and you just couldn't get the ball in the basket. And some of that, I think, was fatigue there late, so much energy expended getting back in that game after Baylor had extended the lead, but you just couldn't get a bucket when you needed it.
West Virginia's top two scorers traditionally, and Honor Huff and Trayson Eagle's staff, were limited in this game. Trayson had a good start to it, but after 9 quick points in that game, didn't score again, didn't even get many attempts. Honor just was unable to hit anything but one shot. Defensive effort by Baylor, something maybe that we're going to see in the future?
Yeah, I thought they were excellent in flooding those guys with defenders, and it was really difficult to get a clean, open look from three. And Honors, listen, made a career and made a season out of making tough shots, but that's a lot to ask game after game after game and not getting clear looks. And so they did a wonderful job with their length of taking out those two guys. You mentioned Trey got his 9th point with about 8:29 on the clock in the first half and then didn't score the rest of the game. And so if Honor and Trey aren't getting you buckets, you better be scoring a lot inside. And there were just too many missed shots by West Virginia in the lane as they got even past, a bunch of times, got past Baylor defenders and had clean looks, but multiple layups, multiple little jump hooks in the lane that just didn't fall. And I thought that was really the difference in the game. West Virginia, 8 of 14 at the rim on its field goals. So 6 missed field goal attempts at the rim, 13 of 29 from the field in the lane or at the rim. So well below 50% on those shots within the lane. Just couldn't get enough of them to go down.
Eagle staff didn't get many shots at all.
They were taking them out. They did a great job. That's why that lane was so available and open to you, because they kept doing a good job of getting defenders out on you. And I thought, and you heard Scott Drew talk about it after the game. He said, that's finally, we played a game defensively like we thought we could play and use our length and make it difficult on them on the perimeter, and they certainly did.
And it was a night, we've talked about Honor Huff and Trace and Eaglestaff developing as option 1 and 1A. And it was a night where you got a tremendous night offensively from Brennan Laureate. He made his shots. He got his shots, and he made them for the most part. And, again, that's the third guy. He was there. It's your top 2 scorers were guarded so well that they couldn't have typical nights.
Yeah, Brennan was fantastic, but it was one of those games where he almost needed 27, not 19, to get you over the hump, because somebody was going to have to carry and put up massive numbers there or have a second scorer come along from inside, because, again, guys, you took the number 9 offensive rebounding team in the country and held them without any offensive rebounds in the second half, and you scored points on them that way. You did a great job on the glass. You went to the free throw line more than they did. That flipped the script on what Baylor normally does. They usually get to the line and don't put you on the line. So you were just right there. It just wasn't enough offense when you needed it. And again, it was a rough start again, and that was part of what has been getting concerning about this team is the slow starts have been coming, and you did it against Kansas State but found a way to get a win. You did it again here against Baylor. Now you fought your way all the way back in and took that lead, and when Trey made that second 3 and you had the lead and the Coliseum was rolling, I thought maybe that was your moment to extend it out, but give Baylor a lot of credit. They wouldn't go away.
How difficult is this next one going to be Thursday night?
Very. I think Cincinnati is an underrated team. You look at some of their metrics, and defensively they're still right there. They have rallied since they lost here to Morgantown, including that win over Iowa State that was number 2 in the nation at that time. So, and this is a tough matchup. Their 2 bigs inside create a lot of problems. And if you go back, and we'll do this later in the week, but you start to look at the numbers, it was really West Virginia's prowess from three-point land that allowed you to beat Cincinnati the first time. You'd lost the game in a lot of categories, but you made 11 threes against them. Honor had 6 in that game, and that really carries you through. So, yeah, I think this is a extremely difficult matchup coming up Thursday on the road.
And it was a shame because, again, you had a Saturday night crowd, about 750 shy of a sellout. As you mentioned, the place got going when West Virginia came back. It was one of those nights where you thought, okay, the crowd is going to play a large part in carrying you back and carrying you to this win, but couldn't overcome that long scoring drought.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, that's what I go back to. 11-28 and you get 2 buckets. That's going to be hard to win games against really good competition, even though, again, the defense was elite. You held their 3-point game in check in the second half. You held them to, 36% shooting in the second half. So it was another elite defensive performance in the second half, but just not enough offense to go along with it.
So 14-8 overall, 5-4 in conference play, and now a return trip to Cincinnati, a team that West Virginia beat 60-60. That was very early in the conference season. In fact, it was the first conference home game after the league opener at Iowa State. And as you say, they're a completely different team, or at least they seem to be. They were all out of sorts at that time when they came here. There was a question about the coach's job and all that, but they seem to have solidified things.
They're better. They've got 3 wins since they were here, and they've been better at home. They're battling through some injury and sickness issues, so we'll have to see what that means when we get into Thursday. But, yeah, this is a team that by some metrics is top 10 defensively in efficiency. So this is a team that's going to guard, and it's always tough away from home. So certainly a challenge coming up.
304 Talk 304 this women's game, and we're scheduled to be joined by Meg here in just a couple of moments. But I thought West Virginia would get a much bigger bounce from that. They dominate Baylor at home, and Baylor came in, of course, ranked ahead of West Virginia. Baylor drops just 1 spot, and West Virginia goes up just 2 spots, and they're still ranked behind Baylor, who's 15th, down from 14, and the Mountaineers are 20th, up from number 22. So you've got your 4 league contenders, TCU, Baylor, Texas Tech, and West Virginia, all within a half game of one another, and they're all ranked between 14 and 20. So they're bulked. They're all in there together. But, man, I thought the Mountaineers would get a bigger bounce nationally from a nationally televised dominating victory over Baylor.
Yeah, over obviously a ranked team, albeit at home. But still, good win for West Virginia. You don't want to take away anything from that.
Yeah, polls don't mean anything. I just thought it would give them a bounce.
I know what you're saying, and I agree with it. But as you as you look at what West Virginia is striving for, and we keep saying that the ultimate goal for this team, really it has been every year since Mark Kellogg got here, is to try to get into the top 16 at the end of the season so they can host a NCAA regional. And they're on the cusp. They're not there yet, but they're on the cusp. But they have chances, and that certainly yesterday's victory did move you ahead in that regard.
I agree, though, Kyle. Come on.
Yeah.
Top 15 team, and you take them out at home by that? Create 30. How about the 30 turnovers? That was unbelievable to me. 38-13 points off turnover advantage for West Virginia. Beat them by 25 in that category, guys. And again, I know that's what West Virginia does, is create turnovers, but that's a top 15 team that you forced into 30. That's normally a November total that you put out there, and you did it to a top 15 team and won by 25 points just in that category. I agree, Wiggs. You're on it. The polls don't mean anything, but that's a hose job. Come on.
And that was West Virginia created 27 of those in the first three quarters. They backed down some and only created 3 in the final quarter when they were sort of in cruise control. So that just tells you where West Virginia's defense was in that game.
Text later on. We'll get back to the men's game, 304, Talk 304 with your input. We'll take a quick break. We'll hear from the Hall of Famer, WVU's Meg Bulger, and get her thoughts on the West Virginia women's victory over Baylor. And we'll do that when we return on the CityNet statewide sports line. Since 1979, the health plan has called West Virginia home. From humble beginnings, they've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming part of its fabric. For over 4 decades, they've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses, proudly serving West Virginia for over 40 years. The health plan.
An irregular heartbeat can be serious. At WVU Medicine, our electrophysiology team offers world-class care, close to home and always within reach, to diagnose and treat heart rhythm disorders with advanced technology and devices. Call 877-WVU, the number 4 HRT, or visit wvumedicine.org/heart.
If a fire occurred in your home, would your smoke alarms work? Don't wait for a tragedy to find out. Smoke alarms are designed to give you and your family the precious seconds you need to safely escape. Test your smoke alarms every month by pressing the test button until the alarm sounds. Depending on the type of battery in your smoke alarm, you may need to change the batteries at least once a year or whenever the low battery warning chirps, and never remove the batteries for any reason. Remember, having working smoke alarms is not only a good idea, it's the law. A message from the West Virginia State Fire Marshal's Office.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
At the Health Plan, we are here for you, and we have been one of the most trusted carriers for over 40 years. Headquartered right here in West Virginia, providing exceptional health coverage and local customer service.
The Health Plan, we are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
You want to know what West Virginia is talking about?
It's good to be back in Morgantown today.
Now it's different.
I think it's mostly just business.
What I voted for and what I think makes the most sense.
Well, Dave, this has been a bit of a controversy.
I want to thank the caller last week that said I sounded like Hoppy Kirschville. That was flattering.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talk Line on Metro News Television.
Monday night on the Sportsline. Thanks for joining us. Text line 304-TALK-304. More thoughts on the men's game coming up. Kyle Wiggs, Greg Hunter, Brad Howe with you in the Health Plan Studios. Again, continuing with the CityNet statewide Sportsline. Joining us now, WVU Hall of Famer and ESPN Plus analyst Meg Bulger. Meg, good evening. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. How are you guys?
We're doing great. Okay, so you're watching the game yesterday. Wondering what you're thinking when West Virginia has the 14th ranked team in the country, perennial Big 12 power, constantly turning them over and over again. 30 turnovers, 38 points off turnovers. What did you see that was going on there when West Virginia, with that constant ball pressure and changing of the presses, and they just kept taking the ball away?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even seen that great of defensive pressure and the way they were consistent. I mean, possession after possession, turning them over. Even last year, with Quinterly and Watson, you didn't see that consistency. I thought that, Mark Kellogg just did a great job of, Gia Cook up front, Sydney Woodley up front, whether they were going to trap, whether they were going to deny, whether they were going to be on the ball. They just really changed it up constantly. And I think Baylor had a really tough time once they figured, this is the opening. Then West Virginia would switch it up and then, kind of play off and look to trap. And I think that Sydney Shaw does a great job of just kind of hanging back, waiting and watching, and really taking that middle away. But it really starts with Harrison and Cook up front.
So, Meg, certainly under Mark Kellogg, West Virginia has always been pressure defense and forced a lot of turnovers. And as you said, though now without Quinterly and Watson, schematically, are things different? Are they just doing what they do? And, hey, you find a way to solve it.
Yeah, I mean, I think schematically it's the same. I think Quinterly and Watson, they were the type of players that really were able to make reads and probably venture out a little bit more than most players would. And I think that they had a longer leash to do that. And Mark Kellogg trusted them defensively. But I think these players, they stick to the scheme. They stick to exactly what they're supposed to be doing. They know where they're supposed to be, and they just do a really good. And they're quick. It's a very quick set of guards that he has up there running it. So I just think that they stick within it very well, and they all play off of each other extremely well.
Meg, let's flip over to the offensive side and talk about Mimi Wheeler for a second, because she was outstanding. 18 points, 15 rebounds, guys. She was all over the boards. What'd you see from Wheeler yesterday?
Yeah, you know what? And this has been the past couple of games that I've really just understood and just bought all into her. She is a gamer. Like, when the game is on the line, and, they're not the best three-point shooting team. They're just not. Shaw hit some really clutch ones yesterday, but Wheeler is one of those, she will start just backing someone down, posting up, demand the ball. I mean, there was a play that she made yesterday. She just started posting up at the free throw line, and it was pretty much, give me the ball right now. Everyone in the room knew it. Everyone on the floor knew it, and she still just did a strong spin. She's so strong. She's great footwork, finishes well. But I just love that last year, okay, yeah, you put the ball in Quinterly's hands. She makes a move. She does what she does. This time, it's just, give me the ball, and I'm going to pretty much will myself to the basket, and that's why they dominated in the paint as well.
Meg, I'm not sure there's anything better in sports, especially basketball, than that right there. When you call for the ball, demand the ball, and they can't stop you, that is the absolute best, isn't it?
Oh, for sure, right? It's such a good feeling. Yeah, you're watching, and you're like, come on, just do. And I'm watching that so excited yesterday. And when I saw her do that, I'm like, let's go, Mimi.
It's not just Wheeler, though. It's Carter McRae has really been a revelation inside, although her minutes were limited yesterday a little bit, and even Jordan Thomas, the most improved aspect of this team is the inside players on both ends of the court, it seems like.
Yeah, 1,000%. To be able to have that lineup of posts that you can kind of rotate in and out, because some games, require, more guard action. Some games are going to require, how can we press with some bigs in? It gets a little tricky, but I think the rotation that they've gotten going has been phenomenal. Carter McRae, Jordan Thomas sat out a couple games with an injury, and I thought that she just played so consistent. Her footwork is tremendous. She's the type of player that she's only going to help you most of the time. She's generally not going to hurt you. So everything she's bringing is consistent. It's positive. And she's undersized a little bit, but she doesn't play that way. She's just very strong. That's what I've noticed when they've gone against these Big 12 posts is maybe they're a tad undersized, but they're stronger. They are absolutely stronger in the paint than most of the posts that I've seen.
Speaking of undersized, you go out to the guard position, and there are very few players that are more undersized than Jordan Harrison. But after sort of a slow start to the season, she's really come on lately and so good defensively. Now has obviously become even more consistent offensively. We expected a lot out of her after 3 seasons, which feels like an eternity in the college game anymore. But is she playing as well from your view as it looks from the outside?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was about maybe 5 games ago, it was kind of like, all right, Jordan Harrison is back. She has that confidence. She has that bounce again. I think it was tough. Where's the scoring going to come from? She has her 1-2 punch with Quinterly last year. They read each other really well. They fed off of each other, I thought, really well. So this year I think she probably put a lot on herself that I have to be a scorer. I have to be a playmaker. And I think that that Duke game at the Greenbrier, that probably affected her confidence a little bit. She's the sweetest girl in the entire room. So, I think something like that can really mess with you mentally. So I think it took her a little bit to get comfortable again and regain that confidence. But she absolutely has. I mean, she's just played tremendous down these last few games, scoring when she needs to, not turning the ball over. Her defense, I had to rewind it and make my daughter watch it 15 times yesterday. Her defense, her on-ball defense, coming around pick after pick, and just forcing her out, and then she ends up getting the steal and going for a layup. I mean, just everything she's doing right now is working.
Yeah, she was outstanding. The 5 steals yesterday. But how about this, Meg? I know you'll like this. She got 11 points yesterday just off the pick and roll. So she was a handful in that set as well, which is certainly an awesome dynamic for her, right?
Absolutely. And I love any time they can get the bigs out, get that paint opened up for the guards to really, because Gia Cook is lightning fast as well, and Jordan Harrison does such a great job of just kind of getting into the smallest opportunity, the smallest part of the lane. And then what I noticed is after our bigs are setting those picks, if they roll and they see a lane for Jordan, they do a tremendous job of sealing away the defender and basically just creating the entire lane. I mean, they're just opening up and parting the seas for her. And I think they do a really nice job of that and understanding how to use their body. And that's, again, from that strength. I love that role playing that they really have caught on to here.
The old Gortat screen there, right? Yeah. Where you just back into them and screen it there
exactly.
with your backside and create that lane there. You're right, Meg.
Meg,
yeah, exactly. I really enjoyed that.
Yep. Meg, these you've seen these teams, and it looks like West Virginia's schedule down the stretch is pretty favorable. I know this game Wednesday certainly isn't going to be easy. Colorado's having a good season. West Virginia still has to go to TCU. But how do you see it with TCU, Baylor, Texas Tech, and West Virginia all kind of lumped in there together? How do you see this playing out down the stretch?
I mean, I thought that West Virginia, unfortunately, I thought that they got smacked in the face with the Big 12 conference right away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as soon as it opened, they had Houston at home, but then it was kind of Christmas break, so that doesn't count to me. But after that stretch they had, it was tough, the gauntlet. But you're right. I think it's favorable, and I think you look at a handful of these games are extremely winnable. Cincinnati at home, you got UCF twice. And like you said, the TCU matchup, that's going to be a difficult one, but that's a good revenge game. I think, they go out there and they got to get that one. But certainly what you want to see here at the back end of this, grab these games, however many of them are left, maybe give one up here or there, you think, on the road. But I think they have a really, really great chance to at least, if not win out, at least go on a really strong run, positioning themselves well for the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah, Meg, I was going to ask you, I mean, certainly from us from the outside, we talk a lot about, okay, positioning for the Big 12 tournament, positioning for the NCAA tournament, a home court advantage in the regional. From a player inside, did they pay much attention to that, all the bracketology? Did you do that much when you were playing?
No, I really just kind of, I know it sounds like cliche, but you're taking it one game at a time because you know that each game could come back to haunt you. A bad loss can come back to haunt you. A great win can help you. So you really understand. And I think these players do nowadays because of the portal. They've played everywhere. They've played it, with teams that always are number one, or then they transfer someone. The Big 12 right now is just, I'm like, wait, she just played with this team. I'm getting confused now. Who is she? So I think that they all understand the magnitude of every single game is important because these teams are brand new. These teams are, fresh veterans every single year now. So I think they kind of really understand the magnitude of playing each game at a time because, worry about that later and focus on each game because each game is completely important.
Yeah, and especially now as we head down the stretch, because it does feel different when the calendar flips to February and you're in the stretch run. And Meg, as you well know, this is where you see some teams start to separate. You're going to see ones that have had rough seasons maybe fade off, and teams like West Virginia now can hope to press on the gas a little bit.
No, that's exactly right. I mean, I think West Virginia is peaking at, the exact time they needed to. They had a tough non-conference schedule as well, too. So I thought that they were certainly battle-tested coming in. And now you're kind of seeing them. Certainly the TCU one was a heartbreaker at home. Texas Tech one was close. But you're certainly seeing them. Like a game yesterday is when you kind of say, all right, well, we didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but we did what we always do well. And that was, the consistent part of it. And you find ways to win that way. And that way, I didn't think they just won because, we didn't shoot well, but we turned them over. I thought that was a convincing, strong statement win. And I thought they dominated a lot. Even though the score didn't indicate that at times, I really thought that they were the dominant team most of the game. So, yeah, I think at this stretch right now, starting in February, they got to be, ultra focused. They certainly have to be confident in this, these last stretch of games and kind of, take a breath from what they've just done in January and be proud of that they got out of it the way they did, and now they started February off the right way.
Great win, again, 70-60 over Baylor. Team ranked 14th at the time, over 6,000 at the Coliseum. And, I mean, you've seen dozens and dozens of games at the Coliseum. When you've got a crowd like that, it certainly makes a significant difference.
And it translated on TV, especially just the whole entire atmosphere of it. I mean, I would have been watching anyways, but because it was the national game and, on ESPN, but I just thought the crowd looked phenomenal. You can hear them the whole entire time. The analysts even had to comment on like a bunch of times. So I really, it just looked tremendous. I was jealous for a little bit, like, oh man, I want to play in front of the crowd. And then I thought, no, you're in sweatpants and you'll be sore just getting off the couch. So no, but it was awesome. It was so exciting for them.
All right, Meg, make us feel old. How old's your daughter now? Is she picked up the family DNA for athleticism?
She has. She's in basketball, and unfortunately, I'm now her coach, 7th, 8th grade. So she's 12, and then little Katie James is now 18 months. So I'm old in one sense, and then I feel like a young new mom again. So I don't know, but I'm somewhere in between there. I'm really not as old as I act like I am, and I'm not as young as I think I am either. So I'm in the middle of that. But no, Nola's she's very much into West Virginia basketball, and she's doing very well though.
Well, that's great. That's good to hear. We appreciate your insights. Mountaineer women at Colorado Wednesday, and then back home Saturday to Arizona. Right? Are you back on the call on that one?
I am not there. We actually have a game on Saturday, so I can't be there. I'm on the call for the next one, UCF.
Okay, the next one after that, Central Florida. Well, great. We appreciate your time. Great insights as always, and we'll talk to you again.
Thank you guys so much. Love listening to you guys. Thank you.
All right, thanks,
you.
Meg. Meg Bulger there, WVU Hall of Famer and ESPN Plus analyst for women's basketball.
To her point about the domination and the win could have been bigger, how about these two numbers? You ready for these? So West Virginia is in the 98th percentile when it comes to free throw attempt rate. This team gets to the line a lot. In this game, they were minus 12 free throw attempts and minus 10 points at the line. So Baylor had 10 more free throw points than West Virginia did. Unusual for this team.
Yeah.
Then here's another one. West Virginia is one of the best shooting teams in the country, top 11% nationally in points per shot on unguarded catch-and-shoot jumpers. So when West Virginia is left open, it usually makes its shots. Just 1 of 10 on Saturday. So Meg said they didn't shoot the ball well. There's an example. So those are two categories they usually dominate in that they didn't play well and still won the game by 10 points going away.
Pretty unusual. You see both teams got to the line a significant amount. Baylor quite a bit more. 27 of 32. They shoot it at 85%, and West Virginia was right there as well, 17 of 20 in terms of percentage. It's pretty rare you see both teams shoot that much so well.
Yeah, the fact that Baylor got so many more, and I know the officiating was a question if you just had the game on and could hear the background, but West Virginia usually averages 10 more free throw attempts per game than its opponent, and it was flipped in this particular game.
Text line open, 304-TALK, 304. Comments on either the men's or the women's games this weekend. This Valentine's Day, fall in love with your internet again. CityNet Gig Fiber delivers fast, reliable speeds with no contracts, no data caps, and local West Virginia support. And right now, new customers can get 50% off any internet plan for 1 full year, with plans starting at just $25 a month. Check availability at your address. Visit citynet.net today. CityNet, love at fast speed.
We were built in West Virginia and for West Virginia. We're investing in our state by expanding our fiber network, creating local jobs, and delivering high-speed internet that truly performs. Sign up now and get 50% off your first year of service with plans starting as low as $25 a month. Experience the speed and reliability you deserve. Visit citynet.net today. CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
The Mountain State Assessment of Trends in Community Health, or MATCH, is a survey sent to 88,000 West Virginian home addresses where the information you provide can support policymakers to direct resources to help your community. If selected, you will receive the survey information and invitation in the mail. You can complete the survey online, by mail, or by phone, and you will be compensated for your time. Visit wvmatchsurvey.org for more information. Helping your community is a touchdown for West Virginia.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
New year, new trucks. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop Thorold.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown!
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. and they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Steig Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email steig-info@wealthenhancement.com.
Kyle, Greg, and Brad on the CityNet statewide sports line for this Monday. You can join us 304-TALK-304 as we check the text line. Texter says, you see a very talented team with a lot of size. I fear Thursday night's game will be a loss. Well, Cincinnati hasn't lost at home since the first of the year. They did have a pretty disastrous trip to Arizona. Of course, they lost at Houston, but other than that, they've played well at home. Colorado, Iowa State, and Baylor, all consecutive home wins for Cincinnati.
Their bigs are impressive. Mustafa Cham and Baba Miller, and they really didn't do anything here against West Virginia, just a combined 8 points, and I thought that was critical. I would be stunned if you were able to keep them in that same area again, but when you play Cincinnati, there's the potential for a lot of variance. They shoot a ton of threes, one of the more 3-point heavy teams in the country, yet one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the country. Bottom 50 or 60 usually in 3-point percentage. Now, they made a little bit more than average here in the Coliseum, shot at 34% clip, which was up from where they normally are as a team. So that's what I'm interested to see is, can you force a lot of threes? Can you get some missed threes? Then can you corral the rebounds, keep those bigs from getting on the offensive glass, and find a way to score against their defense?
304-TALK-304. Texter says, one cannot help but notice that we take a lot of desperation, final second shots that obviously contributes to poor shooting overall, and the 10-second countdown from the bench players and staff can't be helpful.
Yeah, it's actually that's what the offense is designed to do, is do exactly that, is take shots in the final 10 seconds of the shot clock, especially down in the last 5. They've been very good at that for most of the season. So when it goes poorly, it looks bad. I get it, but that's actually what this is designed to do when you're trying to limit possessions and see if you can get the best available shot by having the defense break down.
Yeah, comments back-to-back on that. Too much running, the shot clock down, forcing up a bad shot. They should speed up the tempo and get more shots. Shoot more to score more. Well, again, you just explained that.
Yeah, they're not going to. That's not the style that they play.
304-TALK-304. Texter says Meg did a terrific job as MC of the annual baseball banquet last week. Special local talent. That is correct. She does a remarkable job on television, and she will be with us again on Metro News coverage of the state girls basketball championships. I believe she worked the MEC too.
She's done some games. Okay. Yeah.
But she'll be on television on Saturday. And she'll be on radio with us for most of the week coming up at the state girls basketball finals from Charleston in early March. Texter says, another text, we get about one of these a week, Brad, wanting to see more in the starting lineup. Scored 9 points, played just 14 minutes, and he makes things happen when he's on the court, says the texter.
Yep, that's exactly why he comes off the bench. Ross keeps the 5 continuous that have been in there all season. He's always had a guy off the bench that provides a spark, especially offensively. Chance is that role. So when things stagnate, that's usually when you see Chance get up and get in there and do what he does, which is specifically getting to the basket.
Just to your example, last year it was Brendan Lorient when he was at North Texas, who always came off the bench for him, but was so good, he was a first-team all-league player.
304-TALK-304. We'll get our last break in. Check the texts when we return. We remind you to check out the Tudor's Biscuit World High School Basketball Rankings. They're updated each Friday at WVMetroNews.com. If you want to see where your team ranks each week, we rate the top 10 in all 4 classes. It is the Tudor's Biscuit World High School Basketball Rankings at WVMetroNews.com. Click on the High School Sports tab, and then the High School Basketball rankings. The Metro News Power Rankings presented by Tudor's Biscuit World. From mouth-watering biscuits to savory sausage gravy, they've got the home-style favorites that you will love. More text coming up, more discussion on the CityNet statewide sports line when we return.
If a fire occurred in your home, would your smoke alarms work? Don't wait for a tragedy to find out. Smoke alarms are designed to give you and your family the precious seconds you need to safely escape. Test your smoke alarms every month by pressing the test button until the alarm sounds. Depending on the type of battery in your smoke alarm, you may need to change the batteries at least once a year or whenever the low battery warning chirps. And never remove the batteries for any reason. Remember, having working smoke alarms is not only a good idea, it's the law. A message from the West Virginia State Fire Marshal's Office.
The Mountain State Assessment of Trends in Community Health, or MATCH, is a survey sent to 88,000 West Virginian home addresses where the information you provide can support policymakers to direct resources to help your community. If selected, you will receive the survey information and invitation in the mail. You can complete the survey online, by mail, or by phone, and you will be compensated for your time. Visit wvmatchsurvey.org for more information. Helping your community is a touchdown for West Virginia.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain State's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. A WVRC media event.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
We were built in West Virginia and for West Virginia. We're investing in our state by expanding our fiber network, creating local jobs, and delivering high-speed internet that truly performs. Sign up now and get 50% off your first year of service with plans starting as low as $25 a month. Experience the speed and reliability you deserve. Visit citynet.net today. CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
On the next State of Minds.
My dad always said, don't let any one individual control your destiny, what you do, what your value is. And I wasn't about to let Paterno do that to me. I mean, it was just a phenomenal time, my first game, and to be accepted as a Mountaineer.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
Sportsline for Monday. Thanks for joining us. 304 Talk 304. That is the number to call. And I know you both saw this from over the weekend or recently, and I know we're efforting to try and get in touch with Dalton Bolin, who, Brad, made 10,703 three-pointers in 24 hours. Set a new world record,
right?
Yes.
Guinness Book of World Records?
Guinness Book of World Records. He beat the old record by 75 shots. Awesome. And did it as a fundraiser from a friend who he made when he was at West Liberty, Trevor Cherry, who's suffering from cancer. And Dalton raised $23,000 for that effort. And, of course, Dalton Bolin went on from the MEC to the College of Charleston, but he shot made 10,703 three-pointers in 23 hours. Wonder how many he shot. We'll have to ask him.
It's pretty good. That's some good stamina right there. Dalton's wonderful kid, amazing story. We've had him on this show many times during his playing career, both at West Liberty and College of Charleston. Just tremendous. And, Greg, I say it every time his name comes up, the ability that he had that season to play with a patch over his eye, still be an All-American while being a perimeter player is one of the more remarkable things I've seen in sports. He had an eye injury before the season, and he continued to play, but literally had a patch, like a pirate costume patch over his eye for the entire season, played with it, and was an All-American. Remarkable kid.
We'll have to talk to him. As you said, we'll get him on. But what did his shoulder feel like when that was over?
Had to be sore. Had to be big-time sore.
Absolutely.
Especially because he's not currently playing.
Yeah.
Right?
That's correct. And Cherry, the buddy that he helped in his fight in cancer, $23,000 raised. He's a former West Liberty football player. So, a couple of buds there from college up in West Virginia's Northern Panhandle teaming up there, and Dalton Bolin really setting a remarkable record. And we're efforting, right? Efforting to try and reach Dalton Bolin and get his thoughts and see how he feels. I guess he's probably been asleep for the last couple of days, but hopefully he'll join us, and we'll talk about that effort coming up. All right, Brad, here you go. Here's the next one in NCAA, the new era that we're in. Joey Aguilar of Tennessee suing in an effort to gain a year of eligibility and play quarterback in the SEC once again. He enrolled in junior college in 2019. 2019 was his first season in junior college, San Francisco City College. He did redshirt that year. There was the pandemic year in 2020. He played 2 seasons at Diablo Valley Community College in California, went to Appalachian State, played 2023, 2024 at Appalachian State, then transferred to UCLA, and then, of course, the issue with Nico there at Tennessee, entered the portal and signed with Tennessee, made $1 million playing quarterback last year at Tennessee. So how many seasons is that?
Yeah, you see why he wants to come back?
Yeah.
$1 million. And see, this is the thing that gets the NCAA in trouble, excuse me, when it goes to court here. Is there a clock or not? Greg, we talk about the clock all the time. If he began in 2019, the clock should have run out, whether he's played the 4 years or not. And that's part of the argument, because some guys go right through the clock, right? TJ Finley, we've mentioned many times on this show. 7th team coming up this year. He's playing for Incarnate Word. He's played 7 seasons at 7 different schools. Now, why hasn't his clock started? Why doesn't he have the 5-year clock? So if you're Aguilar, I get it. I get why all these guys. You can make $1 million. Aguilar's not going to be an NFL quarterback, right? So if he can go make another $1 million playing for Tennessee, absolutely it's worth a lawsuit. See if you can get it through.
Aguilar would be trying to get his 8 season of college eligibility, but he spent the first 4 in junior college. So if junior college years are completely wiped out.
But they're not.
Yeah.
They're not completely wiped out. That's not a rule that got passed. It's case by case, and they say the clock still applies to you. So what's the answer to that?
Well,
because they don't just wipe those out. Yeah, I see why nobody understands the rules. How do you know the rules?
Well, again, you start at 2019, and he would finish in January, I guess, 2027.
Right.
If he gains that year of eligibility. All right, so that's the next one that we'll be following. Big Monday tonight, Kansas at Texas Tech. These teams have identical records, 16-5 overall, 6-2 in Big 12 conference play. Now, of course, Arizona is the number 1 team in the country, and they're in first place in the Big 12 at 9-0. Houston in the top 10 as well at 7-1. Iowa State in the top 10 at 7-2. And then Kansas and Texas Tech tied for 4th. Central Florida still in the mix at 6-3. So your thoughts on this big matchup tonight, Kansas visiting Texas Tech?
Yeah, I'm interested to watch this. UCF with a big win over Texas Tech on Saturday in Orlando. So UCF is much improved. Another example of things can turn pretty quickly. There was a lot of people that thought Johnny Dawkins was done after last year. They brought him back. They found a point guard, and they've been very, very good. They're having a heck of a year, just 4 losses on the season, coming off that big win over Texas Tech, their 3rd-ranked win. Now they'll get Texas Tech has to turn right around and play Kansas. Kansas, again, continues to be a really interesting story. They beat BYU on Saturday. Darren Peterson was unbelievable, but only played 20 minutes, came out with supposed cramps again. So you only got to see him for half the game. It was enough to get the win over the other presumed number 1 pick in the draft, A.J. Debonsa, and BYU. So I'm really looking forward to that game tonight. I'll be dialed in to watch it.
And Central Florida, you mentioned the win over Texas Tech Saturday, stormed the court twice. Did you see that?
What a ridiculous ending. So they storm, the clock goes to 0. They storm the court. All of a sudden, we go to the replay review, and one of the very high-profile officials in the Big 12 had to go to the replay review. As people are on the court, Coach Hunter, they have filled up the court now.
100% filled.
We review the tape, and they say, no, there's 0.2 seconds left on there. We're going to send them back to the free throw line. So now we took another 5 minutes, 8 minutes to clear the floor, get the UCF students off, go to the line to shoot free throws that didn't matter to the final score, to the side or total, if you want to take the betting space. Finished the game out, made one of the 2 free throws, rushed the court again, UCF did.
It was 87-80 at the time, and there was a foul. It was a clear foul. The guy got hacked on the wrist with 2 seconds to go, but shouldn't the officials have the
yes,
just wave it off?
Yes, and that would have been a situation to do so.
You would think, and every student was on the floor. I mean, there was thousands of students on the floor.
Correct.
And they brought the security. They got everybody back up into the stands. He missed the first free throw, made the second, which made the final score 88-80. But, that seems to be ridiculous. And the official came over to the television table and said, look, this is my job. I'm doing my job.
Okay. Okay.
Having been to several UCF WVU football games, I'm glad they had enough students that would be in.
They did. It was an impressive crowd in there. They were into it. And again, that's a team that's winning. 17-4 on the season, 3 ranked wins. So UCF playing well.
So the big Monday doubleheader tonight. Syracuse starts the evening at North Carolina, the ACC portion, and then Kansas at Texas Tech coming up tonight. Mountaineers at Cincinnati on Thursday. We'll continue to preview that game as we move along this week on the Sportsline. Coming up later in the week, Friday to be exact, it is the final home match for the WVU wrestling team. And not a lot of seniors on that club, but there's a few, including Jet Strickenberger, who's had a wonderful career after winning a national junior college championship, came to West Virginia. So they'll honor the seniors, and the wrestlers will take on Missouri on Friday. We'll preview that match as we move along this week as well. Everybody back tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Correct.
We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We're back tomorrow night on the Sportsline.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the Metro News Radio Network. All rights reserved.